How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you guys have, you guys know what to do. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, leave those down below. And with that, let's get into the video. So, in this week's kind of progress update, we have done a few things. Most notably, we've just been setting up infrastructure so that way we can go and work on setting up an oil plant. Now, there's a ton of oil up in this region. I haven't gone through and marked it all out yet, but I've been figuring how I want to snake the highway system. So we're going to kind of have to go off-world grid a little bit through here, just because it is not quite at a 45-degree angle, but that is fine. We can get everything rotated and hopefully get it all snaked through here. I checked. I believe it's going to be wide enough for us, and then we're going to route the train, just the train, and not the roadway underneath, because this isn't going to be something that I'm going to want trucks to do at any point. And from my understanding, oil should be what's the word, manufactured and refined at location, instead of trying to transport liquid. I could pipe it to a more suitable building area, so perhaps from this area I could, pipe it over here or something, but it's a reasonably open, flat ocean region right here, so I can just do it here. I know a lot of people do tend to either build really high up vertically, or they'll build over water, just because you don't have to have any terrain to deal with. I just want to try to build into the terrain. I feel like it adds aesthetics that I want to do. So we're just kind of setting up all of the infrastructure for what I want to do, and part of that is just building the monolithic thing that we're doing here all the way around. However, upon doing it, when I was up in the northeast, I had realized that I was doing true 45s over there, and then down that way earlier today / yesterday, I think in this region, we were doing some not true 45s, and I'll show you what I mean by that when we head over there. But first I want to fix this concrete manufacturer that we have over here. I think some of these we put somber sloops in. Maybe we didn't. I know we went through and collected a couple. Well, I say a couple, but I think we collected like 10 in between episodes, because I've been using them in these machines here with our power shards, so that way we could utilize things better. So we have 2 there because we were making motors for research. I think it's in one of these that we had. Yeah, we have 9. I think the tier 1s only need 1, so we'll only need 6, because I think we have that here. Let's see. It looks like we could use more. I gotta see if we have any more of those. I think we have slugs that we could. And we'll just do the thing to them, because this will generate. Yeah, we do have 1 there. We'll generate a little bit more. I'm going to take it out of there, just because instead of producing a little bit more there, we produce a lot more there. So that's 60 more per minute. So instead of consuming more, we're going to produce more. So I'd rather do that. That is one thing, is it's like here, because the input is unlimited and this input here is finite, it makes more sense to have the power on the miners than it does on these. I think there are probably areas where it makes sense to have the speed boost rather than just straight more production. I did not make this accessible to do things. Oh, and I also built. Oh, this one already has one. Where do you have some of these? I think we did. Oh, those ones already have. Anyway, I also built the jetpack and then the Blade Runners. The Blade Runners, low-key best thing ever. It's just more speed, more dash. It's just awesome. All right, we have 5 summer sloops left. Okay. But yeah, so now that that's fixed, we can go ahead and start getting ourselves more, more concrete. because that was really the big thing over here is I just need concrete. As you can see, I just had it set to like, I think hundreds. We've built quite a lot of this segment, but just so that I know what resources I need, and that's all I have in my inventory, so we can build it. So anyway, I don't think we've touched anything. I still haven't done any of the encased beams. We did get to phase 3, or so we completed phase 2. We did a little bit of the research here, or I guess milestones. So we did jetpacks and oil processing. So we do have this unlocked. So just some of the stuff that we did unlock here with it was like the extractors, the refineries, valves, which will be nice. Limits flow rates. Plastic, rubber, fuel, heavy oil residue. We can scan for oil. We can get polymer resin, petro coke, circuit boards, and there's some new shop items. I want to see what those items are because I feel like we have a good chunk. These, once we get the encased beams reproduced, we'll be good. But I have to, I think, upgrade our steel production a little bit on that. Fluid packaging, I'm probably going to skip over, at least for now, just because, from, again, my understanding, transporting fluids is terrible, and you should just do it on site. But I could be wrong. If I am wrong, let me know, just so that we can adjust. I guess the reason you would get this was liquid biofuel maybe or something. Or, you know what, actually, I guess the reason you do this is so you could have those packages so that you could use them in your jetpack, but I don't know. And then we do want to get the petroleum power just so that way we can get that upgrade because... Okay, good. It's going to scroll? No? We do, however, want to use... I think it was from one of the earlier ones. Power infrastructure? Yeah, we want to use the power storage. Because these, again, from just the reading of the description and my understanding, is it doesn't ramp up or ramp down like a normal engine. It just is a constant burn rate. So if you're using only 50% of its output, you're wasting 50% of it because it's still getting generated, but you're not using it. So we want to store that if we can at all possible. We'll probably still end up wasting some, but it's not the end of the world. There's a manufacturer, so that is going to be something. At 3 or 4 inputs, that's going to be crazy because just managing 2 right now is awful. Computers, heavy modular frames, modular engines, adaptive control units. Well, we need both of these for the next milestone. We're already making, I can't move it, but we're already making the versatile framework, so we can already plug that right in. Trains, of course, this is what I'm really excited about. Hoping everything we've built so far works with it. And then, of course, blueprint design of Mark II, which I'm really looking forward to. So, let's kind of head over there and see what this is going to look like up here. I'm going to head, I think, to the left side. We'll continue that way, because I know that way is correct, but I think we're going to have to destroy some of the stuff down there. So we're going to head up here. I'm also hoping, for the most part, that this just works with the rail. I'm not sure what the turn radius is quite yet, so we're going to have to adjust that. We also need to figure out where we're going to be putting some of those things. So I know here we're going to be building probably 2 or 3 more layers to our factory here. And I know here we're going to be having some additional height to it. Probably at least 2 more floors maybe. We'll see. Because I do want this to eventually be at the same height as this. That is kind of our goal, just so that way these trucks can just go right in and we don't have any of the squirreliness out here. So I might just save that so that way we can eventually move this item up 1 floor and this item will have 2 floors, and then that way we can just expand production without having to actually do too much there. Because I do want mini factories kind of around the landscape. Like, I like having that because I feel like, yes, I could have everything in one giant building and then I don't have these logistical nightmares, but then I don't feel like you really see the map. You don't really explore, you don't really do a whole lot. I mean, I guess that's what other playthroughs are for, because if you just do one big sprawling map all at once, all over the map, then you perhaps won't have as different of an experience when you maybe replay through the game. Definitely now with 1.0 out, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess modded would probably just be the next step, logically, I guess. would be doing that. But, you know, it's the same when I play Factorio or anybody plays a factory game like this. You know, you're always going to be bound to do something a little bit different. You might use maybe a little bit of a different design for your highways, or maybe you'll give yourself a challenge of, okay, no trains, belt only, or maybe minimal belt, right? Only the absolute minimum that you need to connect things, you know, no long distances. Everything has to be produced at the mine. Because that, of course, would definitely be interesting, because instead of having a central, like, smelting area that I have over there, do smelt at mine, and then instead of transporting it from mine, which is something I have seen people do, is they'll build their mining outpost here, they'll set up the smelting, probably, like, right there or something, or right next to it, or even just directly feeding into it, and then transport the ingots, which is fine, space efficient. I mean, it doesn't save you any space, but it doesn't cost you any either. So you might as well smelt it there instead of having to transport it, I guess. But then perhaps taking those ingots and then feeding it right into whatever it's needed for, and then transporting that. But of course, that opens yourself up for, well, if you're doing, for instance, screws. Well, screws are quite painful to transport, just because they do expand quite rapidly. It's the same thing with Factorio, and I believe it was gears. It's the reason you don't belt gears, because you just need such a high amount, and I think it's like 1 iron into 2 gears or something. I can't remember what it was. It's been so long since I've done that. But basically what we have here is we have our highway kind of going off the edge, literally. Ah, crap. Without falling off. There are some nodes down here, but we will likely connect those via... Honestly, we'll probably do something similar where we had this, where we have the underpass, trucks or something. We'll probably handle whatever this is and get it shipped over there. Is likely what I'll do. And those are little things I like, because it's like, yes, I could belt it from here to there. As you saw, we do have the belt highway. But I like having just those little niche things where it's like, okay, I have a few different things. We do have to go through and connect up all of the power between these segments, and as you saw underneath, we're also going to have to connect up the hypertube. Eventually what I want to do is I want to do hypertube stations, because I've seen a couple designs for those floating around. So one up here that would be nice, it would probably likely just be a maintenance tunnel, but just to come up here, and if I need to change anything, but it's highly, highly unlikely. If I don't build a factory in this corner of the map, I'm probably never going to be here, because in this game, you really don't need to go tend to your mines. So I probably won't ever come to this corner of the map. Once everything is said and done up here, all the nodes are tapped, infrastructure's all in place. The only time I would maybe come back up here is if I have to upgrade something, like the belt for capacity, or if I have to do something else. Realistically, this is essentially where we're at. So as you can see, we're already going to run out of concrete, because we really didn't have a whole lot to begin with. We only do 2 more sections here, but this is essentially what we've been doing this week, is just setting things up so we can have our big loop around. I hope I went far enough over to the left. It's fine if the roadway here is clipping a little bit, because I do actually have it clipping somewhere over there, but I think that segment's going to have to end up getting torn up anyway. I think we are going to clip. I think this one won't clip, but I do think we are probably going to clip here quite a bit, actually. We'll see. Yeah, because that's clear here, but this is going to clip. So we probably could have gone diagonal one more, but whatever, it's fine. This is fine to clip because I believe we only need 2 wide technically for trucks. 3 wide is just additional space. Not really sure. But really, this is mainly for the train and our hypertube, which is only 3 wide, not even 3 wide, 2.5 wide. So that little bit here will allow us. I have seen some people, they do prefer to have a left hand, right hand for their like main train line, and they'll have a priority line underneath. So that could be something we look at adding at some point, either underneath the deck or even maybe off to the side or something, but we'll see kind of as we go through that. But I would like to have maybe a living highway that evolves as we do. Well, let's go head over and see if we have any more concrete. Well, we do. I suppose we can kind of head this way, because now that we have our little boots here, and I've more or less mastered the slide dash run thing, we can traverse quite quickly through places. I will say, if anybody remembers watching the very first episode of the Factorio, I keep messing up because I've been playing the Factorio recently. The Factorio, there I go again. The Satisfactory, oh lord. This is what happens when you switch between two factory games that literally are consuming thousands of hours by players. The Satisfactory playthrough that we started, that later evolved into this series, since 1.0 came out, will know that I was like, oh wow, this place is huge, massive, but as you can see, even just with these Blade Runners, we're traversing and we're utilizing. Like, I like how you can make your factories fairly complex, and that you'll have a lot of little things. Yeah, there's clipping. Clipping's fine. A lot of little things in that as your world expands, it does things. It's like you have little minute things that you might have forgotten about, or just like little rooms, especially if you do any sort of decorating while you build. So that might be something as simple as maybe you built like a little break room somewhere because you had just like a small segment left over in a factory floor plan that you just didn't really have any. It wasn't big enough to put a machine there, but it was small enough, and it wasn't too small that you could just get rid of it, so you put something there. And so those might just be the little things that you kind of forget about. I don't think I have any concrete in any of these. I'll take that for jetpack. Concrete. And then, yes, I know this is spaghetti, but eventually, perfect. Eventually my hopes here are that we can have a storage unit like this, dump it in here, and then kind of how these are, just have a room where every item in the game can get sorted, and then eventually go into a dimensional depot, and I just never have to deal with things. Everything just goes in and gets filtered and sorted. I'm hoping my gopher, who's been busy with Lost Ark, for anybody who's been interested at all in that MMO, he's been really busy in that, so unfortunately I have not had my gopher to do that, because he said he was going to do it, so I was like, okay, I will let you do that. You can learn to do it, because the thing that I struggle the most with when playing multiplayer in this game, Factorio, and really anything, is having to then delegate those things to people, because oftentimes either they won't know how to do it, and so then I have to kind of explain it to them, but by the time that I'm done explaining it to them, I've either done enough of it that it's like, okay, well, I'll just finish it, or it dramatically slows just the overall progress down, because now I have to stop making good progress and be like, okay, this is what we're doing. So definitely trying to get better at that. As a software engineer, I kind of need to do that on a team sometimes, but my hopes are that he'll kind of come back and then worry about getting that put together, so that way we can have all of our items naturally replenished and I don't ever have to go back to the base, because that is really annoying. Oh, I forgot I have a jetpack. I'm like, why didn't I fall? The only annoyance is, as you can see, the fuel for those logs burns so quickly. And I initially thought that, oh, it's fine, I'll just mass produce them. No, there is a reload timer on these things. So I was like, you know, I always see people like kind of feathering it, you know, not really using it a whole lot, and then using the parachute to help boost them. But then I'm like, huh, why don't they just spam it? Now I know why they don't spam it. Because if you spam it, it's like, you run out. Oh, it's not gonna recharge till I hit the ground? Ah, okay. So you can't even bounce. But that, it's an interesting mechanic with jetpack. I mean, I guess if you have it so that you can always fly, then it becomes Minecraft in a sense. And that's only really, I think, because I have not great fuel. If I am missing something with this jetpack, by the way, please let me know, because I don't want to suffer with just crappy fuel. if there is like a better way to fly. Because I want to say I've seen people hovering with it. I have not looked at the controls, which, yeah, is dumb. I should probably look at the controls, but I don't want to. I mean, I will after this video, so, like, hopefully I will find... Does coal burn in this? Yeah. Okay, so if I burn this last one, how do I get it to set to coal? Preferred fuel. Equipment. Okay. While on the ground, different can be used. Will be used and it can be set in the equipment inventory. Can be set in the equipment inventory. Is this not what this is? Preferred fuel is that. Where do I set? Can't put it in my hand. Oh, we'll get rid of this just really quick. Nope, can't put it in our hand. Okay, let's see. Key bindings. Holster. Toggle ghost fly. There's G. Maybe I can't burn coal now. I'm just gonna assume I can't burn coal. So if I'm wrong, let me know. Because I'm sure it's probably hilarious for somebody. But anyway, I'm gonna continue working on this highway and planning out kind of more or less where some of the next stuffs and things are going, as well as oil. So hopefully, probably gonna work on oil this week just because power has also been having some issues. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you guys have, you guys know what to do. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, tips, tricks, and anything else under the sun you can think of, leave those down below in the comments section. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one, and peace out.